Hello everyone, my name is Derrick. Come from Jersey City, New Jersey. I'm an alcoholic and addict. I grew up in a very well-off family, pretty much had everything I needed. My father was a drug addict, my mother was a drug addict. She passed away in jail. Our father is alive today and he's in recovery. My story starts off as an adolescent. I drank a lot, smoked weed, really didn't dabble with any other drugs. At one point in my life, I started to spread my legs, get outside, wanted to be cool, started robbing people. It got to the point where I wasn't going to school in high school, and I was doing drugs every day. I stole from my grandmother and grandfather. At one point, the school, my grandparents sent me away to a 4-year boarding school, which was based on NAAA. It was more like a organized cult. I was forced to chase kids down when they ran away, bring them back to the school, wrap them up. At some points they would deny us food. We would have to eat what we didn't eat. And it lasted for about 4 years. I graduated with a New York State Regents and a diploma from high school in Jersey. So I had 2 diplomas. I graduated with 60 to 70 kids, which actually I went back to my family and I got with a girl from the school, which they did actually advise us all not to get with somebody in the recovery. At that point, it was pretty much downhill. I moved to upstate New York with him. We were pretty much homeless, eating. It was pretty much, we really had nothing to eat, pretty much. And it was pretty tragic. I moved back to Jersey City. From that point on, I had 2 kids, which I thought were mine, but they ended up being 2 of my best friend's kids. I stayed with them, but at the time I got really hooked on PCP. It got to the point where my life became completely unmanageable. My kids see me high, I just go pick them up high. Me and my ex were arguing constantly, fighting. At one point, I just left that situation and went on my own and continued to smoke PCP. I met a lady named Pam, and one of my good friends had conducted a documentary on me. And the documentary, we sat down and actually made a movie script. At that point, I thought I was at the highest point of my life, but I was still using PCP. And the powers that be stripped me of all the rights to anything. It was a long road to recovery. I mean, it was times I stayed sober with the help of NAAA, but I got to the point where I thought I knew too much. I mean, I'm very educated. I went to school for, I would say, A+ networking. I've been in school for production. At one point, I became the VPA in Arbor Record Company, but it went downhill because of my drug use again. I mean, it's become a path of my life where drugs have just taken over. I mean, I get to the point in life where I think that I know more than the next person and that I can get high and be okay because I'm smart. But after a while of getting high, it's a big misconception. Like, it is, I would say I hated myself sober. I hated my sober mind. I thought I couldn't relate to anybody, which was a lie. And it led me up until about 2 years ago. I left Jersey and went to PA, which was a bad decision for me. I became, I would say, addicted because I couldn't stop using meth, crack. I OD'd countless times off of heroin. At one point, I had OD'd and I was out for about an hour with no breath. I wasn't breathing at all. And the police and ambulance thought I was dead. But I came out of it. I had to sign a paper for them to release me. They wanted me to go take a CAT scan, which I denied and went straight to work. I had lost my job that night because I kept nodding out. And I really never had a problem getting work. And I'm educated, So working was a second nature to me, even though I was high, but I still remain getting drugs and using them. I love meth. And that was a big issue because I stayed up long hours. I never went to sleep. I think the longest I stayed up was 6 days and continually went to work for the 6 days. I'm a hard worker, so they never fired me. So I thought to myself, I needed a change. One of my good friends came to Uplift, and she called me, I guess, after Uplift. She went to Sober Living, gave me a call and asked me to come up here and get some sober time. I really was reluctant because it was from the the East Coast to the West Coast, but I figured I need to change my demographics because I was too comfortable in my own skin, and I needed just to be uncomfortable at a place where I knew nobody. I came to Uplift, and ever since I stepped in the doors, it's been amazing for me. I mean, don't get it messed up. It's been times where I have an anger problem. So it's been times where my anger just takes control, turns to rage. But I've learned very key, how should I say it? They gave me the tools to control my anger. Like, I'm not saying that I'm 100%. I do have my downfalls, but I can say that I'm in a place that just shows pure love. Like, I really haven't had any issues with none of the staff. It's a little different than the NAA programs that I've been to, just because it shows you a better way of life. And I guess I needed that because now I feel that I actually have a chance at life and I can obtain these goals. Uplift has changed my life because I have no urge to get high anymore. Like, I can actually say, in the past, I've always had reservations. I always say that, okay, I can leave, smoke weed, drink a little, and I'll be okay. But today I can actually say that I don't have those urges no more. I've lost too many friends, especially from the school, and it's been tragic. And I can sit back and say that the trials and tribulations I've had in the past only paint a picture for my future. Like, I look at myself now as a man. I look at myself now as a power example. And I'm grateful for Uplift just for giving me these tools.